Here's our buoy tent update for Sunday, September 13th. Today was a really fun day. Had more bites than we knew what to do with. We fished the Washington side from the church all the way up to just past the shipwreck all day long, all throughout the tide. And I started out right at the bridge and followed the last hour and a half of the outgoing tide down to the church in that 40 to 50 feet of water. And we started out with a triple on Chinook. So that's the type of day that we had. Throughout the entire day, we only touched one coho, and we got lucky it was a hatchery. Everything else was a Chinook. I think our total for the day was probably 30 plus bites. We probably had 20 plus fish to the boat. Just a great day. Lots and lots of fun. Lots of fish to be had, but only one keeper. So what we did is we followed that tide again all the way down to the church on the outgoing tide. As soon as it switched, then we started seeing the bait come up off the bottom. But when I saw the bait come up off the bottom, I knew that that underwelling of incoming tide, that salt water, was starting to push in. So even though the current up on top of the water was still running out, that undercurrent was starting to create that bubble and push up. So what we did is we went out into the deep water, out of that 40 foot and out into the 60, 70 feet of water, right in the middle of that ditch, right by the bridge, and brought all of our gear up. We were dredging bottom on the outgoing tide, but then we brought our gear up on that bubble and fished anywhere from 20 to 30 on the line counters in that 60, 80 feet of water, and we immediately started getting fish again. In fact, we started out with another double, and then as soon as we released those two, had another fish on. So just make sure that you're out there fishing the tides where the fish are going to be at. Pay real close attention to what your graph is telling you. As the tide started coming in, we tried to mimic the pattern that happened yesterday and fishing right around the sunken island by the shipwreck. And there were a couple fish caught there. We got a handful, nothing really all that exciting though. So I ran all the way down to the church again and got up on the shallow flat up against Desdemona Sands and fished there all the way back up to about a mile or so above the bridge, right on the sands in that 20 to 30 feet of water. And for the next 3 hours, it was just fish after fish. So we made that first long pass, got all the way up above the bridge, caught a handful, and then we just kept on running laps, starting at the bridge, working our way up with the last hour or two of the tide. And again, it was that 20 to 30 feet of water, either fishing right on the bottom or even up as high as 12 feet on the counters. It was just fish after fish. It was a lot of fun. Great time out there. What I've gone to at this point here is pretty much all bait. It's just easier to deal with instead of having to bend my spinners back constantly. And I'm running 50-pound fluorocarbon leaders, and we're just yarding them in because there's a lot of fish out here. And if we get into these hatchery coho, I want to pretty much ski them in, get them in close quick, so that way we don't lose an opportunity to get a fish into the box. But tomorrow the game plan is going to be pretty much the same. Just go out there and fish the outgoing tide along the church, along the sands there in that 40 foot. As soon as the bubble hits, go out there in the deep water, fish them shallow in that 20 to 30 feet on the counters, and then follow that tide all the way back up and figure out if the fish want to be up against the shipwreck on the Washington shoreline or against the sands. A lot of fish out here, and it's fun. I wish there were a few more coho around so that way the clients can go home with a few more fish, but lots of great pictures, lots of bites, lots of fish to the boat. Awesome time. All right, guys, we'll see you tomorrow. Later.